Jai Hind. At the outset, I would like to thank DG Caps and Chair for giving me this opportunity to share my thought on aerospace management in a different environment. Integrated aerospace management, what Chair has just mentioned, is the need of hour. And what is the way forward for Indian Air Force? Let's try to analyze this. The operational environment is evolving unprecedentedly, particularly within the aerospace domain. The sheer volume and diversity of friendly and reversible users, from low-flying UAVs to hypersonic missiles and space-based assets, create complexities that demand an integrated management approach that unifies offensive as well as defensive operations for managing the vital battle space. The era of rapid technological advancements and evolving security landscapes, the integration of air and space capabilities has become an undeniable imperative for any Air Force. Integrated aerospace management, which I'll be calling it IAM, is a strategic approach that involves the coordinated use of air and space power technologies to optimize mission effectiveness. It is about managing the entire aerospace domain from the Earth's surface to outer space as a single integrated battle space. Given the criticalities of IAM, its implications for air operations need to be addressed, and measures for a more efficient and productive aerospace management system are initiated to ensure mission accomplishments. For instance, IAM can be implemented through the use of advanced data analytics to process and interpret the vast amount of data generated in the aerospace domain, or through the development of AI-driven decision support systems to assist in rapid and accurate decision-making. Now, let's see the criticalities of integrated aerospace management. The aerospace domain is no longer a literally uncluttered environment primarily used by manned aircraft. It is now a highly congested and contested space. Without effective IAM, we risk the various factors like what I'm going to cover now. Operational efficiency and fratricides. Visualize a scenario where multiple UAV swarms, manned aircraft conducting strike missions, and friendly cruise missiles operate in the same battle space alongside civilian air traffic, and perhaps even our outer space-based assets maneuvering for optimal coverage. Without a robust IAM system, deconfliction becomes a nightmare. The risk of collisions, interference, and the tragically fratricide will increase. We could be hindering air operations through airspace mismanagement. Compromised defensive capabilities, adversary threats ranging from sophisticated cruise missiles to hypersonic glide vehicles and increasingly capable UAVs like low RCS flying platforms are becoming harder to detect and counter. If our defensive systems operate in isolation, lacking an integrated picture of the aerospace domain, we will be slow to react, misallocate resources, and create vulnerabilities. A fragmented approach to aerospace management invites adversaries to exploit gaps in our defenses. The constant defensive operations, offensive operations. Effective offensive operations require precise timing, coordinated movements across multiple domains, and the ability to penetrate increasingly sophisticated air defenses. IAM is not just about aerospace defense, but is equally critical to offensive operations. It enables us to orchestrate complex air campaigns, manage the ingress and egress of our assets, and ensure that our offensive capabilities are delivered with maximum impact while minimizing the risk. Inefficient aerospace management will impede our ability to project power effectively. Erosion of domain awareness. A siloed approach to aerospace management leads to fragmented domain awareness. Different units and services may be tracking different parts of the aerospace picture, leading to incomplete and potentially conflicting information. This lack of a common air picture hinders effective decision-making at all levels and undermines the ability to proactively anticipate and respond to different threats. Increased workload and cognitive overload. The current system often land on manual processes and disparate systems places an unsustainable burden on our fighter controller and air traffic controllers, operators, and commanders. The sheer volume of data and the speed of operators in the modern aerospace domain can lead to cognitive overload. increasing the likelihood of errors and delays. An efficient IAM, therefore, is paramount for the future efficacy and survivability of any Air Force. As IAM offers several benefits, including enhanced situational awareness, improved decision-making, and increased operational efficiency. Consequently, inadequate IAM will impede the ability to operate in the modern battle space effectively. It is not just a matter of efficiency. It is about mission success, force protection, and maintaining our strategic advantage. Enhancing India's defense posture. The transformation of Indian Air Force into the Indian Air and Space Force is a critical process that will significantly impact India's overall defense strategy. This shift reflects India's recognition of the growing importance of space-based capabilities in modern warfare and the need to integrate air and space operations for enhanced deterrence and operational effectiveness. The transformation of the IF into IASF will have several dividends for India's defense strategy. Improved situational awareness, integrating air and space-based assets, will provide the IASF with superior real-time situational awareness, enabling better decision-making and faster response timing to emerging threats. Enhanced deterrence capabilities, the IASF's ability to leverage space-based assets for intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance, and offensive counter-space operations will significantly bolster India's deterrence posture against adversaries. Expeditionary capabilities. The ISF's space-based logistics, communication, and navigation support will enhance India's ability to project power and sustain operations across the spectrum of the conflict, both within and beyond the Indian subcontinent. Resilience and survivability. The ISF's reliance on a diverse mix of air and space-based platforms will improve India's aerospace assets, overall resilience and survivability, making them less vulnerable to any disruption. Key consideration for designing IAM. The design mechanism may consider the following critical aspects of IAM for futuristic planning. Threat mitigation. The proliferation of diverse air domain users, from UAV and loitering munitions to ballistic missiles and satellites, has vastly complicated aerospace management. Effectively, countering these multifaceted threats from adversary will be a primary challenge. Technological transformation. Emerging technologies such as AI, machine learning, and advanced data analytics will be crucial in enhancing the efficiency and productivity of aerospace management. Leveraging these disruptive technologies will be key to maintaining a decisive edge. Jointmanship and synergy. Integrating the capabilities of IAF, Indian Army, and Indian Navy to enhance jointmanship will be essential for seamless aerospace operations. Fostering a culture of collaboration and synergy across the services will be very crucial. Space-based capabilities. The inclusion of space-based assets and the establishment of the Indian Air and Space Force will provide India with enhanced surveillance, communication, navigation, and offensive as well as defensive capabilities in the aerospace domain. This will be a game changer in Indian defense strategy. Implications of the complex aerospace domain. The increasing complexity of the aerospace domain has profound implications across all aspects of Air Force operations. Data overload and information management. The command and control system may be drowning in sensor data across multiple domains. The challenge is collecting data and effectively processing, fusing, and disseminating relevant information promptly to those who need it. This demands advanced data analytics, AI-driven processing, and robust communication networks. Decision speed and automation imperatives. The dynamically increasing speed of modern threats, notably hypersonic weapons, compresses Indian decision-making timeline dramatically. Manual processes and slow information sharing are no longer viable. We must embrace automation and AI-assisted decision support system to react effectively within these compressed timelines. This includes automated threat evaluation, aerospace deconfliction, algorithm, and potentially automated defensive responses under human supervision. Interoperability and joint as well as coalition operations. IAM cannot be purely Air Force endeavor. It must be inherently joint and interoperable with our sister services. The aerospace domain is inherently cross-service and increasingly multinational. We need standardized data formats, communication protocols, and operational procedures to ensure seamless integration and effective collaboration. Cybersecurity and resilience. IAM systems will be prime cyber attack targets. Disrupting or degrading our aerospace management capabilities would have catastrophic consequences. We must build robust cybersecurity in every aspect of IAM, from sensors and network to data processing and decision-making systems. Resilience and redundancy are paramount to ensure uninterrupted conduct of operation even under any attack. Training and skill set evolution. Operating and managing a complex integrated aerospace domain requires a new generation of airmen with different skill sets. We need to invest in training for data analysis, AI and machine learning understanding, cyber operations, and multi-domain operations planning. Our training programs must evolve to prepare personnel for a technologically intensive and information-rich battle space. Doctrinal and procedural adoption. Current doctrines and procedures for aerospace operations are primarily based on legacy systems and less congested environment. We need to fundamentally rethink our doctrines, tactics, and procedures to leverage the capabilities of IAM and effectively operate in the future aerospace domain. This includes developing new rules of engagement and aerospace control measures that account for modern threats. Speed and complexity and autonomous systems, which is available on the battle space. Now let's see the case studies. A joint all-domain command and control JADC2. The JADC2 initiative represents the United States Air Force ambitious move towards a fully network command structure. The concept is established by Department of Defense to integrate sensors and communication across all military branches like Air Force, Army, Marine Corps, Navy, and Space Force into a unified network. This network will provide joint force commander with the necessary capabilities to command the joint force across all war-fighting domains and throughout the electromagnetic spectrum. JADC2 seeks to establish a cohesive network driven by AI, facilitating real-time data acquisition, analysis, and dissemination. This will empower decision makers to identify, implement, and oversee activities with a greater efficacy. The primary objective is to establish a worldwide targeting system capable of providing informational superiority at the space of the participants. The second one is Integrated Air and Missile Defense, IAMD. NATO Integrated Air and Missile Defense is an essential and continuous mission in peacetime, crisis, and conflict, safeguarding and protecting alliance territory, populations, and forces against any air or missile threat or attack. This defense system integrates air and missile defense capabilities. It combines sensors, command and control systems, and interceptors to detect, track, and engage targets in real time. IAMD enables the coordination of air and missile defense capabilities across different systems and services, improving the ability to detect and engage any threat. It provides a layered defense system that can address various types of threats, including ballistic missiles, long-range missiles that can reach targets at high altitudes. Cruise missiles, these can use aerodynamics to maneuver and evade defenses. Unmanned aerial vehicles, drones that can be used for ISR or attack missions. Fighter aircraft, conventional aircraft that can be used for air-to-air combat. NATO continues to strengthen its IMD in line with the strategic concept, which sets the baseline for the alliance deterrence and defense posture. At the NATO Washington Summit 2024, allies took steps to further improve the readiness, responsiveness, and integration of NATO IMD. They welcomed updates to NATO's IMD policy and the implementation of various initiatives, such as IMD rotational plan. Let's see the typical functioning of IMD.
As a defensive alliance, NATO needs to safeguard allies against threats from the air. This could mean hostile aircraft, cruise and ballistic missiles, but also emerging threats like drones and hypersonic missiles. How does NATO defend against these threats? Working together, NATO allies have deployed an integrated system of radars, ground and sea-based air and missile defense systems, and fighter jets across alliance territory to detect and intercept possible threats. This is important in peacetime and in times of crisis and conflict. For example, what if a passenger plane loses communication mid-flight and cannot coordinate with air traffic controllers? Ground-based and airborne radars can track the plane, while jets scramble to visually identify it. Once they confirm a loss of communication, they can guide the aircraft to safety. But in the event of a conflict, the NATO integrated air and missile defense system will shield Allied territory from threats like cruise or ballistic missiles. A hostile launch will be detected by NATO's array of sensors on land, in the air, at sea, or in space. Once a missile has been pinpointed, NATO can use a variety of defense systems to neutralize the threat. NATO command posts calculate trajectory, evaluate the threat, and determine the best option for interception. Land-based systems like the US THAAD can intercept and destroy missiles at altitudes as high as space. For short to medium.
The way forward for IAF. To effectively address various emerging challenges and capitalize on the opportunities, the IAF must aggressively pursue IAM. The way forward must be built upon the following key pillars. Enhance domain awareness through multi-sensor fusion. Invest in advanced sensor networks spanning space, air, and ground domains, capable of detecting and tracking the full spectrum of aerospace users and threats. Critically, the need is to develop AI-powered multi-sensor fusion system to automatically synthesize data and data from disparate sources, radar, electro-optical, infrared, acoustic, cyber intelligence, and space-based sensors, etc., into a comprehensive, real-time, and actionable picture of aerospace domain. This system should not just present data, but also perform automated threat assessment and anomaly detection to proactively alert operators to potential issues. The system must be robust and capable of automatically detecting and classifying a fast-moving and low observable cruise missile approaching defended airspace, correlating it with cyber intelligence, suggesting a coordinated attack, and presenting this threat assessment to defensive commanders within seconds, allowing for rapid action. AI-driven command and control and automation. Manual command and control processes are too slow and cumbersome for the modern aerospace domain. We must develop AI-assisted command and control system that can automate routine tasks like aerospace deconfliction, resource allocation, and threat prioritization. These systems should provide commanders with intelligent decision support tools, offering courses of action, highlighting risk and opportunities, and enabling faster, more informed decisions. Automation should also extend to aerospace defensive system, enabling automated responses to certain classes of threat under predefined rules of engagement and human oversight. Need of the hour is an AI-powered aerospace management system that automatically reroutes civilian and friendly air traffic to maintain safe separation while clearing corridors for strike aircraft to ingress or egress, optimizing airspace in real time. Robust and secure data networks for communication architecture. IAM critically depends on seamless and secure data flow. We must invest in high bandwidth, low latency, and cyber-resilient communication networks capable of supporting massive data transfers and real-time information sharing across all levels and domains. This includes exploring advanced technologies like secure 5G, 6G networks, satellite communication advancements, and quantum-resilient encryption to protect against sophisticated cyber threats. Implement multi-layer cybersecurity strategies to protect interconnected systems. Developing a mesh network architect merits consideration to allow for decentralized data processing and communication, ensuring sustained operation even if the network is partially compromised. Continuous threat monitoring and rapid incident response are vital. Joint and coalition interoperability standards and protocols. We must actively participate in and drive the development of common data standards, communication protocols, and operational procedures with our sister services. This will enable seamless data sharing, joint operations planning, and coordinated response in coalition environments. Interoperability must be baked in design of all future IAM systems from the outset. Establishing a common data lexicon for aerospace objects and events need to be user-friendly for all services, enabling rapid and unambiguous information exchange. Adaptive training and education curriculum. We must revamp our training and education programs to produce airmen proficient in operating and managing IAM systems. This includes training in data analytics, AI appreciation, cyber awareness, multi-domain operations, and joint or coalition interoperability. Virtual reality and augmented reality-based training environment can be leveraged to simulate the complex and dynamic aerospace domain, allowing personnel to develop this skill and decision-making abilities necessary to thrive in this environment. Creating realistic simulated aerospace battle space is crucial for trainees to practice managing complex air traffic scenarios, responding to cyber attacks on IAM system, and coordinating joint air operations with AI-driven support tools. Exploring emerging technologies. Emerging technologies are not just adding to the complexity, they are the key for solving them also. The enabler technologies for an efficient and productive aerospace management may be like artificial intelligence and machine learning. As discussed, AI/ML are central to multi-sensor fusion, automated command and control, threat assessment, and decision support. They are the engines that will drive efficiency and speed in IAM. Quantum computing and sensing. Quantum computing promises to revolutionize data processing and analysis, enabling us to handle the vast data sets involved in IAM far more efficiently than current systems. Quantum sensors could offer vastly improved detection capabilities for stealthy threats also. Hypersonics and directed energy weapons. While hypersonics add to the threat landscape, DEW offer the potential for efficient and scalable defense capabilities against a wide range of aerospace threats. Integrating DEW control into IAM system will be crucial. Autonomous systems and swarm technologies. Autonomous drones working in swarms have demonstrated improved surveillance and target acquisition capabilities during field exercises. Their ability to coordinate without constant human intervention showcases the future of dynamic and flexible aerospace operations. Recent conflicts involving UAV swarms have highlighted their potential in both offensive as well as defensive operations, such as disrupting enemy sensors networks and area denial. Advanced sensors, passive as well as active, next-generation radars, electro-optical infrared sensors, and passive sensing technologies will provide more prosperous, more detailed data about the aerospace domain, feeding the multi-sensor fusion engines of IAM. Secure and resilient communication networks, 5G, 6G, satellite, quantum-resilient encryption is the need of hour. These technologies are essential for building the robust and secure communication backbone required for IAM. Data analytics and visualization tools. Advanced data analytics and intuitive visualization tools will allow operators and commanders to understand the complex aerospace picture, identify trends, and make informed decisions more effectively. IAM is not merely a desirable future state, but a strategic imperative for Indian Air Force. The increasing complexity of aerospace domain demands a fundamental shift in how we operate. By embracing emerging technologies, investing in robust IAM systems, fostering joint and coalition interoperability, and adapting our training and doctrines, we can transform aerospace management from a growing challenge into a decisive advantage. This is not just a technological challenge, but a strategic imperative that will determine our ability to dominate the aerospace domain and ensure our continued air power dominance in the decades to come. By transforming the IF into Indian Air Space Force, India is positioning itself to meet the evolving challenges in the aerospace domain and solidifying its position as a regional and global power. This strategic shift will enable the Indian Armed Forces to achieve data and information dominance, enhance deterrence, and project power more effectively, ultimately strengthening their India's defense strategy. Let's integrate for making integrated aerospace management a top priority for the Air Force to ensure our preparedness to deter and defect any adversary in the increasing complexities battle space of the future. Jai Hind. But how we can tackle certain challenges that cannot be governed by existing or emerging technologies? Let's consider the accident which took place in America on 25th January.
Was their operating rules. The Black Hawk helicopter PAC-25 was flying under visual flight rules. This means it was required to rely on visual observation of its surroundings to avoid other aircraft. The landing flight 5342 was operating under instrument flight rules, which give it priority over VFR flights in controlled airspace. This system assumes that VFR aircraft will actively maintain visual separation to avoid conflicts. Moments before the collision, the air traffic control tower at Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport called Pat 25 to confirm whether they had the other aircraft in sight. Pat 25 responded that they did. At first glance, this seems like an acknowledgement that they were aware of Flight 5342's presence and were taking steps to avoid it. However, it now seems likely that Pat 25 had mistakenly identified a different aircraft, possibly a departing flight from the same airport, and believed that was the other aircraft referred to by the tower. Tragically, Pat 25 may not have realized that Flight 5342 was descending directly into its path. This misidentification could have led to the Black Hawk failing to adjust its course in time to avoid a collision. Although I'm not a pilot, this is what appears to have happened based on the available information. It's a heartbreaking incident that raises questions about how such misunderstandings can occur and what safety measures can prevent them in the future.
What technologies can we employ to prevent instances of this nature? Jayant.
Thank you very much, Group Captain Pandey. I think he's clearly brought out that the future airspace management is going to be a complex process of sharing information, of processing information, and utilizing it to its fullest extent. The realities that face us today are manifold. When we inducted the IACCS a little over a decade ago, we had merely about 3,000 flights originating, terminating, or transiting across our airspace. Today, the number has crossed 10,000, which implies the IACCS network needs to identify and track 3 to 4 aircraft every second. At the rate at which this is growing, the air traffic is growing, it is going to be 7 to 8 aircraft every second need to be identified and tagged. Here what comes to mind is whether a centralized command and control system, as brought out by Group Captain Pandey, the J2ADC, will be effective, or do we continue maintaining a process of having a centralized command and a decentralized control system that we already have and enhancing its capabilities by incorporating the modern tech tools that are available. An important aspect brought out by him is the training of people here. Once again, digital twinning, Internet of Battle things, and so on are available to us to help in training our people to be able to handle such volume of and such density of air traffic in the future. You know, in the 70s and the 80s, Hollywood always portrayed doomsday scenario as UFOs landing on Earth, or probably some collision between some comet or planets. So that was doomsday. Today, you notice Hollywood portrays doomsday as crash of data servers. Now, so that is the doomsday scenario. And here when we're talking about the humongous data that is going to be generated with the contested airspace, that is something that we need to be cognizant of. That is something that we need to cater for, adequate resilience, adequate backup systems, and so on. And because this is something that we cannot allow to happen in the future, given the dense air traffic that we're going to see. The added issue that was brought out by Groupie Pandey is the low RCS platforms that are also going to share the same airspace. We have the RPAs, like I said, the advanced air mobility platforms. He showed a picture of so many of them. Low RCS, conventional radars may not be able to pick them up. Some of them may not have their own onboard IFF systems. How are we going to deconflict the airspace with these is something that we need to contemplate and think about for the future. I think at the end of it, all that is left for me is to now open the house for a few comments or questions which can be addressed by Group Captain Pandey. Yeah, let's see, Group Narang there.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Group Pandey, for very stimulating talk. Just to highlight, NATO video really, from NATO video, it really did not emerge how small drone and swarm drone threats were being addressed. Now coming to the integrated air and space, I am segregating because air has a complexity of small, slow, and low-flying drones, as the Chair has highlighted. And space is a new aspect which probably also needs a thing. This will require development, validation, and integration of certain enabling technologies, which according to you are the 3 critical technologies that IF should focus on developing them. And second, should it be developed through a public sector or a private sector initiative? And what should be the role of IF in ensuring these technologies come to the IF at the earliest? Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Narang. The first thing is the type of technology which Air Force should immediately go for. As I mentioned also, whatever is existing first, we have to ensure that they are efficient and uninterrupted operations are possible with that. So redundancy, I expect, has to be ensured with the existing system. Number one. Number two, how we can cover the vast fleet of sensors, inputs, fusion of data, what I highlighted. So AI and ML both are required. One will help you in fusion, other will make you to assess the threat as well as go for the various options. So ICC is having to certain limit these facilities, but we have to see how we can integrate space inputs. So space-based inputs are very, very important because we are not aiming for only the inner surface. We are trying to cover the outer space also. So keeping these things and learning lessons from various other operators, I think we can go for AI/ML is one. Second is how we can ensure the cyber security issues, because cyber attack is the one other platform which every adversary is going for. So making a robust communication network, that is the second one which I can recommend. The third one is that the processing of data. Like intelligence, ISR systems are there, and many services, many platforms are doing the same task, but who is getting integrated all the inputs and putting the dots in one line and getting the correct input. So we have to definitely address this issue of merging integrating everything and milking out the correct information. The second one is what is IFS role. IFS role is definitely whatever our need is, because immediately we cannot jump to next step. We have to go step by step. So what is existing, we have to see how we can switch over to next step, and then adding to the new systems. That is a roadmap which can be followed, because all of a sudden, if you grow, then first thing is transformation to legacy systems with the latest one will be difficult, as well as the operators. They may not be able to accept it. So there are those practical issues have to be seen, how we can handle it. The third one is what you asked about private sector as well as public. I don't know why we are having departments, these compartments, because like we are responsible for Indian security, they are also equally responsible. I don't think we should draw a line between them. So we have to open up and allow them to come and help us in development of various technology, because private sector are doing wonderful job. They are exporting, our exports are going to 100 countries. America is number 1, France is number 2, Armenia number 3. So how they are getting our attention from us? It means we are able to achieve certain standards, and contribution is about 40% is from private sector only. So we have to see what unique capabilities private sector is having vis-a-vis our unique capabilities, if we can integrate and come out with a robust system.
This is Manish Kumar Jha. Further continuing with the Group Captain Narang, could you also highlight the integration of air defense part, because as he also mentioned, the component-wise, which you have a unified platform to check the air defense in eventuality, say the fighter jet, and then you have the, say, hypersonic missile protecting, and you have the drones, anti-combat drones. We'll have some sort of platform which will integrate in times to come, and how complex this could be, the exercise,
The very interesting is we do have, the present Indian Air Force do have such facilities where we can have, it rather started in early 80s. And now we have reached to a platform which is giving a latest environment of decision making in the command control center, what Chair has mentioned about ICCS. If you go and do the deep dive, ICCS has come in a very, very strong platform. And you can, first thing is fusion of information from all the sensors. Second is it allows you to assess the threat, gives you all various important parameters, as well as it gives you the keeping the location, position, and parameters of the threat. It recommends you what are the options available to you. So threat evaluation as well as trial options, and then the commanders can take the decision. So this is available. Now we have to see how we can make it robust and integrate the inputs from UAVs, already processes on. But space and other things, these has to be, we have to integrate step by step and make it more stronger and robust so that any cyber attack which system is undergoing, we are able to sustain those conditions.